AEW All Out 2025 and WWE WrestlePalooza are both quickly approaching. I've got news on both of those shows, as well as some breaking news on some wrestlers for both AEW and WWE, and some other news here on Screw the Script. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thank you for tuning in to this video. There's a lot to unpack on this video. I'm just going to get right to it. We'll start with some breaking WWE news that I read, and I'm reporting to you. If you have not seen this, if you have, you're just here for my thoughts and my response to this. Right up there on the screen, you see that Triple H has confirmed that Cody Rhodes, who was written off TV briefly to film a movie that he's going to be in, the Street Fighter movie, I believe is what it was. On the Pat McAfee show, Triple H confirmed that Cody Rhodes will be back for WrestlePalooza. I don't think he's going to be in a match because that's just too quick to have him be back and just get thrown into a random match. He's probably going to confront somebody at WrestlePalooza. But that is news right there. Cody Rhodes is going to be back. You can deny and deny and deny all you fucking want, but we know very well. I'm not playing dumb here. This is yet another strategy that Triple H and TKO, Nick Khan, they're all trying to utilize all of these people coming back, surprise returns with AJ Lee, countering left and right to All Out. And we're seeing this almost daily at this point. With this Cody Rhodes news, AJ Lee and we have AJ Lee and CM Punk teaming up against Rollins and Becky Lynch. And we got all these other things that they are talking about for WrestlePalooza. Now, to kind of tie off on that, I certainly, it's different to watch one of the two of them or both like I'm going to be doing, but to pay the ticket prices, as you see up here, that is the view of a basically nosebleed seat for WrestlePalooza. You got almost $300. I mean, I don't know if that includes taxes and fees and stuff. It doesn't really say in that post. Even if it does, just for nosebleeds, that I think is beyond ridiculous. This isn't WrestleMania, although it almost seems like they're trying to build it up to be some end of summer WrestleMania sort of PLE. But when you have ticket prices that are going to cost that much, and then to compare, here's a snapshot that I took of AEW's All Out ticket prices. And I didn't, select a view to kind of compare with that other photo that you just saw, but that is just a little graph of the tickets that are currently available. And you see on there, it just shows random prices all throughout the arena there. And all of those that are shown are not much more than what WWE is charging for near nosebleeds at their show. And we know that AEW has more wrestling at their shows, especially their pay-per-views. It's not even fucking close. It is night and day how much they kick WWE's ass when it comes to actual wrestling for their big shows. If you want to spend a lot of time and sit down and time out each match, even just if you take the last shows that they had, Forbidden Door and WWE's last show, and you just sit down and jot down, don't rewatch the matches. You don't have to sit through that, but just, skim through them, jot down the start and end times of matches, and you will see night and day difference that AEW consistently puts out more actual wrestling for their live events. If you're going to be paying basically a premium to go to these premium live events, since they call it that, make it premium. Don't make it a premium lame event, which is what I've joked about a couple of times now on this channel. Or, promo live event is another one that I can throw out there, because that's what it feels like half the time with their PLEs. It's just a glorified Raw or SmackDown with a match or two more that has a little bit higher stakes. But outside of that, they don't feel very premium. They don't feel very special, aside from their very big shows, which is Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam. Every other PLE that they have just feels like what Raw and SmackDown used to actually put out back in the day for their weekly content. Now we're going to go just to AEW news real quick, and then we'll bounce back to WWE. Actually, something that's kind of involving both the promotions, which you'll understand in a few minutes here. Some sad news, unfortunate news out of AEW. This was my reaction literally when I saw this on my phone. Actually a couple of days ago, and I've yet talked about it on my channel. I was just like, he can't catch a fucking break. Wardlow is hurt again. Apparently tore his pec. If anyone's played sports like I have in the past, I've never torn my pec, but I know just with being in sports, and actually I was in college for a little while for exercise science, there are levels of tears in the pec, just like your shoulders and other parts of the body. We don't know quite yet the grade or level of tear that he has. If it's a minor tear, he'll be back in a month or two. If it's a level 2 or a grade 2 tear, he's going to be out probably until Revolution. And if it's a severe tear, he's unfortunately going to be likely out for 9 to 10 months right after he comes back. And he was gone for an extended period of time with his injury and with filming 2 seasons, not one, but 2 seasons of American Gladiator. And I don't know, maybe it's just something that kind of was already present when he was filming American Gladiator. I follow him on Instagram and saw him going pretty hard in the gym leading up to his return. Maybe he just went a little too far, because I doubt that they're saying that it happened when he did the choke slam spot. And maybe he hyperextended his pec, because obviously when you go back like this, your pec expands. And if you go too far back, that's where the tear can happen. I don't know. He's so large and he's got so much strength to him that, it's not like he picked up a 400-pound person. But again, freak accidents happen. I just hope Wardlow can heal as quickly as possible. I truly hope that it isn't a serious tear and it's just a grade 1 tear and he's back in a couple of months. But sad news that I wanted to get out of the way before we get some more positive AEW news. Wardlow has been re-injured. Now to do a complete 180, and I'm absolutely ecstatic. Like, this shit is some really good stuff that we're seeing out of AEW, because it feels like 2019 all over again. Like I've mentioned a couple times in other videos that 2025 has felt so much like 2019, where they are returning to old ways, getting the crowd engagement back, getting sellouts, all of that stuff. We saw BTE come back a couple of weeks ago. They didn't post on Labor Day, but they did post again yesterday as I'm filming this on Tuesday. You're watching this on Wednesday, actually. There's a quick screenshot of that right there. Funny call-up by Tony Khan as well. I like that he's kind of getting involved with BTE, because he wasn't really ever involved with it when it was still going on before it took a hiatus for a while, and it became being the Dark Order for a minute. They are back. The 3 videos that they have released, one of them is like not even 2 minutes. Another one's pretty short. This one's only a little over 6, but I'm expecting it to go longer eventually. Fingers crossed we get a new intro at some point. I love BTE. To have the Young Bucks go back to this hilarious gimmick, basically being street bums, losing all of their EVP powers, their money, their perks that they had. That's what this video was about. If you haven't watched it, I'll actually include the link in the comments. And if you've never watched BTE, it's honestly something worth your while to just start from the very beginning. And it actually, as I'm talking about it now, I think it'd be fun for myself even to just rewatch it now that everything has happened since then, just to kind of get some nostalgia, kind of see from a different viewpoint now that I am in the now and what has happened since versus what was to be known and unexpected while watching it live as it was happening weekly. But yes, BTE is back and I'm very excited. Next, we have this quick thing up here. You can pause to read it because I'm not going to read all of it. But essentially, this was an interview that was on Ariel's show here. And it just shows that, like, despite all these people like Bully Ray, Booker T, and so many others that coincidentally, I think not actually, they always shoot down AEW. And when they're near a big event or they have a big return, something that is what they know is going to boost their ratings and their viewership and everything, they put them down left and right for the dumbest fucking reasons. I called out Bully Ray in, I believe, my last video or 2 videos ago, and you can see right there that somebody on the show is basically saying, no, Tony Khan is great. Everybody loves to work for him. He speaks with every single wrestler before and after matches, all kinds of good things. Nothing negative was said about him on this interview here, and I just wanted to quickly mention this, that hey, like, despite all these people, especially people that we know are being paid by WWE like Booker T and Bully Ray, they're not gonna fool us. They're not gonna deter us from the product, and honestly, it makes them look fucking petty and pieces of shit. I don't know how else to describe it. Christian saying that this is his best run in AEW. Again, you can pause to read that if you'd like to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read it verbatim. I just wanted to let you know, I truly do think it is his best run in his career. Singles run, may I add. He had obviously some single runs in the past in both WWE and TNA when he was Christian Cage there. This AEW run has been so memorable. His patriarchy figure and character was a ton of fun. Probably his best heel work in his, long and very, very prestigious career that he's had. You let me know down below what you think about Christian Cage and his run in AEW, but I do agree with him here. I think this is his best run. There is also quick steam still kind of rolling for AJ Styles. I know I mentioned it briefly in a previous video, but I'm still seeing a lot of rumors. They're not official reports, so don't take this as gospel, but it really does look like that AJ Styles could be on his way out, which is after Royal Rumble. This upcoming February, I believe, is when he's contracted through. There's still obviously a chance that he gets a contract extension. He cut an interesting promo on Raw. If you haven't watched Raw, go and watch that promo. It could just be storyline. This could just be, WWE working people again, thinking, oh no, like AJ Styles is going to walk, he's going to leave. We'll see what happens. We'll let it pan out before I say anything else. But this photo up here, I just had to share it because it is, that is a dream match. And we have been seeing AJ Styles referenced by Will Ospreay in matches, by him doing the Styles Clash. On more than one occasion, and I've actually called it out while watching the pay-per-views in the past, and kind of just laughing to myself, like, that's just obviously like a joke. It's a pipe dream. He's not going to be in AEW. He's almost 50. That isn't like a for sure thing anymore, that he won't ever join. There is a possibility that we might see AJ Styles finish out his career in AEW. Now on to some WWE news. We'll do the positive stuff quick because there's a couple things after this that I want to talk about that just really, really pisses me off. But first, some good news. It looks like CM Punk and Seth Rollins are really making amends and actually becoming very close. And these two hated the shit out of each other years ago. They couldn't fucking stand even being in the same room. If you've read reports and all the stuff that went on with them when CM Punk, right before he left, and Seth Rollins was still an up-and-coming wrestler in WWE when he was still part of the Shield and such. And even when he came back, that reaction was legit from Rollins. That wasn't storyline. He genuinely did not want CM Punk back in WWE, but after a couple of years, it looks like, they're hanging out with each other. They're, I'm assuming they're the brains behind this feud that we have going on. Triple H probably just gave it the okay. I could be wrong there. That's just a guess. But, good news there out of WWE. Now let's get on to a couple of things that kind of pissed me off. All right. First, the big one, the important one, the one that I have said multiple times on my channel. Penta is not being utilized at all in WWE. He was just a quick flash of fun when he showed up and had, I think, a 6-win streak. After that, he's just been taking L's, losses left and right, whether it's in a singles match or he doesn't come out on top in triple threats or fatal four-ways or whatever. It's fastly coming up to a year already since he joined. I mean, it's already about to be mid-September, and he hasn't done anything for months. And before you say, okay, slow it down, like he can't get pushed right away. No, they packaged him as literally the next Rey Mysterio for WWE. You can't say that and also be like, well, just give it time. No, they packaged him as being their next luchador star. And I think they have fucking just destroyed their credibility on that because of how they have booked him, especially these last 3-4 months now. He hasn't done anything. He's honestly an afterthought when he shows up and has a match. I forget that he's even in WWE. I don't really know what to do for Penta, how they're going to fix his booking, but something needs to fucking change because, like I said, they packaged him as the next big luchador star. You had Michael Cole basically sucking his dick for weeks leading up to his debut, on his debut, and the first few matches that he had after his debut, and then it's just gone. Explain that to me, TKO. Explain that to me, Triple H. He was booked better in AEW. He won the tag titles. He won a lot of good singles matches. He was featured weekly, winning in matches. And unfortunately, towards the end of his tenure in AEW, him and Rey Fenix just couldn't stay healthy. And then at that point, they kind of sizzled out. That makes more sense than just having him there and not knowing what the fuck to do with him. And he's supposed to be your next great luchador. Change that, WWE. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. While I'm closing out, the last thing that pissed me off through WWE is kind of just what I already touched on earlier. It's just all these people that are still coming out. You see, reports of it left and right of just people wanting to dog on AEW and put them down for no logical reason. Eric Bischoff, Bully Ray, Booker T, so many people over the last few weeks, and they always seem to do this before big events. All Out is one of their staple big events of the year, and it's fastly approaching. I say screw all of them, fuck those guys. AEW All Out is going to be better than WrestlePalooza. I know it. I'm watching both, but I have way higher expectations for All Out, as you should too. This has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.